What's going on with all my money motivated stars? Now this video is gonna be about sacrifice. When most people hear the word sacrifice, especially if you're in the conscious community or whatever you want to call it, we think about the Illuminati. We think we associate sacrifice with the most worst possible outcome, but in actuality, the Illuminati, or whatever you want to call it, they're just going off natural law, because in this universe, galaxy, whatever, everybody, whether negative or positive, have to make a sacrifice to get to the next phase. That's why you see the rappers, they'll make a sacrifice, then they'll be at the top. They made it to the next level because they sacrifice. Average American citizens have to do sacrifice too, just in certain type of ways. You know, we all make our different sacrifices. You know what I mean? A lot of people make sacrifices when it comes to their health. Like, sometimes people get their arms amputated to save their whole body. There was a sacrifice that you made to sacrifice. The sacrifice was your arm. You had to sacrifice your arm to save your whole body. You know what I mean? A lot of people had to sacrifice their relationship with their parents to save their marriage. You know what I mean? Or some people probably did the opposite. Everybody has to make a sacrifice. This is why I tell people, and people see my sacrifices that I make on this channel. You know what I mean? So we living in a world of duality. We need to stop thinking that every word could be like a negative word. You know what I mean? It's only on the vibration of what you said. So when it comes down to it, if we live in duality, it's always going to be a word out there that can mean something negative, and it can mean something positive. Because in my reality, sacrifice is positive when I'm in tune with it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I had to sacrifice eating chicken and all the foods that I love. You know what I mean? Or that I thought I loved. That I was really pushed into the matrix to eat. And I've grown accustomed to eating them. And then I've adjusted my taste buds to love them. So when it came down to it, man, when it comes to the chicken, the rotel dip, all that stuff was delicious to me. I had to make that sacrifice to start eating healthy so that my brain can get better. Like I was telling one of my friends, man, when we was young, they didn't really tell us the importance on health. I didn't know I had another option a couple years ago when I was older, and I was like, okay, shit, this is what it is, man. You know, depression, all that, it's something you're gonna have to really deal with. You know, you can't really, the drugs that help, you know, only temporarily. It's like a band-aid. The weed that help only temporarily. But when I found a different out, that's when I started doing all. Because when I said, when we was young, we knew the burgers to put us on the toilet. Like I said, the Taco Bell, we got the bubble guts now. We knew that Taco Bell put us on the toilet. We only thought that our mouth controlled our gut. We only thought that the stuff we ate was linked to the gut. So if we knew back then, especially if I knew back then that our gut was tied to the brain, and it made you think a certain type of way when you put foods in your body, you know what I mean? Then I would have been on my healthy journey. It's just like they didn't really tell us that. Nobody's in my family is healthy that I know of. You know what I mean? Because you never know your whole family. You only know the ones that you grew up around or the ones that you ever visited, you know. But that I know of, nobody in my family is healthy. So everything I've taught myself, it's been self-taught, you know what I'm saying, by the ways of YouTube. Because when it come down to it, I made a video about how people don't grow on social media, and I was talking about specific platforms, but I should have been more specific. Because a guy got in my comment section, and he was like, bruh, to be honest, I didn't grew the most off social media. You know what I mean? Facts. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to it, me too, king. You know, I really sometimes, like, yeah, I know I be freestyling my videos, so when I say a lot of stuff, it ain't like stamped it. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of times I be running out, so I'm just gonna try to end the video so it won't be too long. Just due to a lot of reasons why I try to end my videos quick. I try to make it short, sweet, and simple. But we are the 5%, the 1%, or whatever you want to call it, that actually learning off this internet. Everybody is learning how to be rude. I'm seeing these young women, they learning how to learn. They learning from these other women who only want money from dudes. And it's just, a lot of brains are getting distorted, but when it comes down to it, it's a lot of us who are actually learning off this internet. You know what I mean? The internet was the biggest blessing to me. I can honestly say that for me. You know what I mean? Because they were like, should social media get taken down? Everybody should, I wish social media was gone. And the ones who saying that really don't mean it, because they be on social media in the comments saying it. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, social media shouldn't be taken away. It's just like, there should be more restrictions on what you can and cannot see. But as a parent, you just need to monitor your child and all that, because this can be a great, like some people call it YouTube University. This is the best university you can get on if you're thriving for success. If you want to be the best version of yourself, because like I said, everything that I have learned, like I said, when I was teaching myself, going into raw veganism, even knowing what a vegan was, all this stuff, I learned this stuff on the internet. If I didn't have the internet, I really probably wouldn't, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't, but I probably wouldn't be vegan right now. I probably wouldn't be on YouTube doing what I'm doing. I don't know, because before we did have internet, that's why I'm saying this, before we did have internet, there was a lot of raw vegans. There was a lot of people who was eating healthy, you know what I mean? So I may have ran across a female who was eating healthy, and she showed me a family member that I didn't know of who ran across it, because I'm always open-minded to trying new things. So when it come down to it, I can't say really what journey I really would have been on, but I'm just thankful for the internet. I'm thankful for people who I watch, you know, like the Yakis, even though he's somebody new I watch. I'm thankful for the Layla Africas and the Dr. Phil Valentine's, and you know, the new ones I'm watching, like Dr. Bobby Smith, you know, Gilbert Blair, like all the people who I've learned so much stuff from when it comes down to my spiritual growth. You know what I mean? It's a lot. I wouldn't be as far as I am now. I just know I wouldn't without the internet. So when it comes down to it, man, it's just all about what you feeding yourself, man. I feed myself positive, informative information, so I can imply that in my life. You know what I mean? See the benefits from it first before I even talk about it, because I have to really see the benefits before I start talking about stuff. And I know that it's an actual benefit. So that's why I bring back the people like, man, you gotta make that sacrifice, man. I don't care. Stop being lazy, because these people out here, they're feeding you poison. And what makes it worse to people like us is the fact that you know this and you're still deciding to pick this up and eat this. You know what I mean? You're still deciding to go out to get this deodorant with this aluminum in it. You know what I mean? When you have healthier alternatives, I give you healthy alternatives. You know what I mean? It's a lot of alternatives that I done gave people. Not sure if they really using it. You know what I mean? I know some people is, because they saying they got juices and everything else. So like, I'm liking the impact that I'm having on people, but people just got to make their sacrifice. Like I said, I didn't sacrifice deodorant. I didn't sacrifice people like my life. I didn't sacrifice different products, food products. I didn't sacrifice a lot, man. I didn't sacrifice a lot. I didn't sacrifice sexual habits. You know, just discipline. Discipline is the biggest thing that people have to teach themselves. Like I made in my other videos in the past, discipline is something you have to teach yourself. If you are not taught discipline, you have to teach yourself discipline. You know what I mean? And nobody really can truly teach you discipline but your parents. You know what I mean? And they can only go so far because you have your own mind. You know what I mean? This is like a church girl, a church goer. When they young, they raise up, you know, parent trying to keep their daughter from this dude, this bad guy, or, you know what I'm saying, this troublemaker, this so-called. But that your daughter is still probably gonna find a way to see him or talk to him because they have their own mind. So when it comes down to it, a person, it's up to you. It's not up to your parents, not up to your child. It's not up to your significant other to teach you discipline. You have to make that sacrifice and know that when I sacrifice, I'm gonna level up. Don't be looking for a level up in the next year or the next month after you start doing it. You're doing this, enjoy the process, because it's not a speedy process. You didn't speed and hurry up and poison yourself. You did this over years. So when it comes down to eating healthy, yes, you're gonna feel better instantly, but you're not gonna feel your best because Your body is still working to get the stuff that you put out the last 30 years in your body. You know what I mean? But you are leveling up. That's what you gotta understand, man. People gotta understand. It don't matter if you've been doing this year, you ain't seeing, oh, I ain't manifested what I wanted, oh, I ain't did this in the next couple months. You're gonna do it. You've made the biggest sacrifice that no one is willing to make. And that's changing their life, eating habits. You know, this the biggest addiction in the world. You know what I'm saying? Besides the opioid epidemic, like a drug epidemic, the biggest epidemic that people are unaware of is what they put in their gut. And you are aware of it and you're changing it. But your life is gonna change. That's a sacrifice you are making, going into a new era. Your vibration is getting higher. How can your world not change when you change what's inside of you? So when you change what's inside of you, change your outside. You're making a big sacrifice, and it's important. Don't think what you're doing ain't important. You know what I mean? This is the biggest sacrifice you ever can make in your life. Walking away from people who mean you no good. Walking away from foods that mean you no good. Walking away from situations that mean you no good. Walking away from jobs that mean you no good. Frequencies that mean you no good. Stay on that path. And y'all make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, hit the like button. Y'all be blessed on walking that smoke.